Have you ever given up the one thing you've wanted your entire life for someone else's happiness? Most people wouldn't, but one man did, and that single decision changed history forever. His name was Bhishma, and without realizing it, he created the greatest war the world had ever seen. When people hear the Mahabharata, they usually think about Krishna, Arjuna, or Karna, but long before any of them were born, one promise set everything into motion. This is that story. King Shantanu ruled the kingdom of Hastinapur. He was respected, powerful, and deeply loved by his people. One day, while walking along the river, he met a young woman named Satyavati. He fell in love, almost instantly. There was only one problem. Satyavati's father refused the marriage, not because he disliked the king, but because he wanted one guarantee. If my daughter marries you, her son must become the next king. That was impossible, because Shantanu already had a son, the crown prince, Devavrata, the future Bhishma. Heartbroken, the king returned home. He never told anyone why, but Devavrata noticed something. His father had stopped smiling, he stopped eating, he stopped living like a king. So Devavrata decided to find out why. When he learned the truth, he rode to Satyavati's village, without anger, without pride. He looked at her father and made an unbelievable promise. "I give up my right to the throne." The old man was shocked, but then he asked, "What if you have children someday? They could still claim the kingdom." Devavrata stood silently. Then he made the promise that would make him immortal. "I swear, I will never marry. I will never have children. I will remain a celibate for the rest of my life." The heavens themselves fell silent. According to the Mahabharata, even the gods were stunned. Flowers rained from the sky, and from that day forward, Devavrata became known as Bhishma, the man who took the terrible vow. His father was overwhelmed. He blessed Bhishma with the power to choose the exact moment of his own death, a gift known as Icha Mrityu. It sounded like a blessing, but years later, that same promise became the reason Bhishma was forced to fight on the wrong side of history. He watched his own family destroy itself, unable to break the vow he had made decades earlier. Here's what makes this story unforgettable. Bhishma wasn't destroyed by his enemies. He was trapped by his own promise. Sometimes our greatest strength can become our greatest burden if we refuse to adapt. Loyalty is a beautiful thing, but loyalty without wisdom can become a prison. Thousands of years later, people still remember Bhishma, not because he conquered kingdoms, not because he became king, but because one promise changed the destiny of an entire civilization. So let me ask you, is there a promise, a belief, or a decision you're holding on to that no longer serves your life? Maybe the strongest thing you can do isn't holding on. Maybe it's learning when to let go. If this story made you think, subscribe, because the greatest stories ever told still have something to teach us today.